Hi everyone, I'm going to be installing a blower fan on this 2002 or so Avalon gas fireplace. I could not find the actual blower that goes with it, and so I'm going to be putting this one in, and I'm going to have to make some adjustments. I was able to find the manual to tell me how to do the hookup, and so, here's your power cord, and then you follow the diagram, the numbers, follow the numbers in and through here, and they tell you where it comes down to. And the first thing it goes to, I believe, is the snap cap or thermal cutoff. That's what your fan doesn't turn on until your fireplace box heats up to a certain point, and then this trips and allows the circuit to continue. The next thing it goes is you follow back in, back out, should come back then to the rheostat or your speed control, and then from the speed control to you follow it back up, comes back, goes to the blower, and then from the blower back to your plug on the white, so the white comes out. So I'm going to be doing that and putting some stuff together now. So one of the things I examined this blower and the way it's configured with these blow up. These two vents will blow air up in through around the fireplace, and they're not the brackets on the fireplace. Of course, I told you they don't fit this model. I looked at maybe configuring another holder, but I think I'm just going to let this sit this on the hearth back underneath the fireplace, and it will almost reach the inlet of the fireplace to blow this air up. So that should be good enough. So what I did was, to help with any vibration, I removed the these are magnetic strips that were along the bottom, and I'm installing these rubber grommets into these holes here, and they just, if you get the right size, if you get the right size neck, they'll just fit in like that. And that's just to provide some cushioning, so that you limits the vibration noise of the motor on the ground. And you see that this has quick connects. I'll be utilizing these quick connects and redoing them as I complete the whole electrical harness. I encountered that product that they gave me. That's the fireplace guys gave me this part of the harness, and it's just a 2-prong plug with no ground. Now this clearly does have a ground for the motor, and so I'm switching it out for a 3-prong plug, and I will connect the ground to this with a quick connect. I picked up these one package of these 1416, that's a 14-16 or 16-14 quick connects. You can see one is male and one is female. This one happens to be fully insulated. One will fit inside the other, and I'm going to do that on this ground wire for starters. When you look at how much wire to strip off, you want to make sure that the sheathing will go into enough into there so that you don't have any exposed wire, but you don't want so much wire sticking through so that it interferes with the connection. So you can see that now I have inserted the cord, the power cord, ground into the quick connect, and I'm using the 1416 crimper part of this tool to crimp that into place, and you can see that it's just short of the connection, so that it doesn't interfere when I insert the other end of this in there. So now I'm taking the female end of this quick connect and putting it on the motor part. That's what you want to make sure that it's grounded. And so you want to make sure. So the other part that I attached was the male, so now I am putting the female quick connect on this end. It was helpful for me to take this diagram and convert it to what my configuration will look like, which is like where my fan's going to be, where my snap disc or thermo disc is going to be, where the speed control or rheostat's going to be. And so this is helpful to me in going forward. So the next thing I'm going to do is, you can see from the diagram that the power cord white hooks up to the fan, so to the fan white, so I'm going to do that. So on this fireplace, on the back corner is where the on-off switch is at, and where the rheostat gets installed. And so when you take it off and you take off the heat shield, you can see that there is already a wire harness in there that runs down in that sheathed cabling, and it would be a lot to redo that. So I'm just going to utilize what they have provided here to hook up the rheostat. So I told you I was going to reuse these and take advantage of what they already have here. Those are the female connectors for the rheostat, and so I'll take my rheostat and incorporate it into that. So I'm going to try and find in my stash corresponding 1416 red male connectors to put onto my rheostat. I got that rheostat mounted in there. It was a bit of a production. That round hole right there, this rheostat wouldn't set far enough into this box. It was being stopped by the angles on the either side, and I couldn't get it to protrude enough through the other side in order to get a nut on it to hold the rheostat box in place. So what I ended up doing was they had these vents on the side, so I just ended up going through one of those vents, and I actually had to drill it out just a little bit to make it allow it to go through. So there's the rheostat now with its fancy little cover or knob on. You just push that on. I wanted to point out also that the rheostat doesn't have a polarity to it, so you don't have to worry about red and black wires. You just connect that up, and it doesn't matter which way the power comes into the rheostat or the fan control, they call it. So now, according to my diagram, my black from my power cord is going to go to my snap disc. There's my snap disc. There's the black from my power cord. And because that's a male quick fit, and then I'm going to use a female quick fit on the end of that. So here I am underneath the fireplace, and so from the back right corner, those two blacks are from the rheostat or the speed control. The black and the brown and the red, they're from that on-off switch up in that same box as the rheostat. You can see it doesn't matter which one of these you hook up to. The snap disc is the next thing, and the snap disc just fits in up there against the bottom of the fireplace. And the snap disc, as I told you earlier, is the device that the fan doesn't come on until the firebox is hot enough, and then it trips that and starts the fan. So that's what that snap disc is about. So that just goes into a little receptacle up close to the box. So anyway, notice that both of these are male connectors, and the snap disc I have also has two male connectors. So I'm going to have to replace these ones with some female connectors, quick disconnects, so that I can attach one of them is going to go to the snap disc. Well, surprise, surprise, I hooked everything up and she works just as planned. I heated up the box and I held the snap disc up to the bottom of the box to kind of accelerate it starting. So the holder for that snap disc is probably a little too far away from the box, plus the fan isn't attached to the box, and so when the fan kicks on, it blows air over that disc and cools it down too much. So I'll probably have to work on that, and plus I'll clean up and make these wires look nicer. But anyway, the plan worked so far.